I am. Two words so ancient, so vast, so holy that creation itself bends to them. Two words you've spoken more times than you could ever count, yet perhaps never truly understood. Listen closely. I am is not a phrase, it is the doorway through which every reality begins. And if your life has been heavy, delayed, confusing, or stuck, it's because you've forgotten what these two words truly mean. Tonight, you will remember, because what Neville Goddard revealed in his final days, quietly, simply, almost as if he were handing a secret back to the world, is this: God placed two words inside you, and everything in your life rearranges itself around whatever follows them. Imagine that for a moment. Your relationships, your finances, your health, your peace, your future, all orbiting around two syllables that you speak dozens of times every single day. I am. And yet, most people never pause long enough to hear what they are actually saying. Neville said the greatest illusion that keeps humanity in suffering is the belief that God is somewhere outside, above, beyond, unreachable. A distant being listening to your prayers, deciding when or if to answer. But he didn't whisper this truth in his final years. He proclaimed it. The I am within you is God. Not a symbol, not a metaphor, a truth. A truth so simple that the mind resists it, so intimate that the ego tries to run from it, so powerful that the moment you accept it, your entire life begins to turn in another direction. Because the moment you say, I am, you are using the very name God gave to Moses in Exodus. I am that I am. You are speaking the word that created galaxies. You are touching the center of all being. But here's the question Neville forced his students to confront. If you already carry God's name within you, why is your life still not reflecting what you desire? Why do you pray, affirm, visualize, hope, and still struggle? He answered it in one line, a line that many rejected, a line that some could not bear to hear. You call God's name in vain, not when you curse, but when you attach anything unworthy to I am. Pause. Let that truth settle into you like a slow sunrise. Every time you say, I am tired, I am unlucky, I am broke, I am lost, I am not enough, I am overwhelmed, you are not describing reality, you are creating it. You are not reporting truth, you are declaring identity. You are not observing life, you are shaping it. But what if everything you call reality began inside your imagination? Neville taught this relentlessly. Not once, not occasionally, constantly. To be conscious of being poor while praying for riches is to be rewarded with what you are conscious of being, poverty. Because life does not respond to what you want, life responds to what you are, or rather, what you declare yourself to be through the two words God placed in you, I am. And here is where the shift begins. Before we go deeper, tell me in the comments, has there ever been a moment you realized your thoughts were shaping your world? A moment when something you declared seemed to manifest in front of you. Share it. Your story may awaken someone else. Now listen, the reason your prayers haven't been answered, the reason your manifestations feel delayed, the reason your life feels like it's looping, repeating, circling the same familiar fears, it's not because God is far, it's not because you're unworthy, it's not because something is blocking you, punishing you, or withholding from you. It's because you've been trying to create from separation. Neville said, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians 1:27. Not Christ near you, not Christ around you, not Christ above you, Christ in you. Meaning the presence you seek is the presence you speak. The power you pray to is the power you pronounce as I am. But your mind still thinks of God as something external, distant, watching from the sky. So when you ask up. When you pray outward. When you affirm towards something you don't yet feel aligned with. And that is why life has felt like waiting for signs, waiting for timing, waiting for answers. But Neville says, there is no waiting when you speak the name of God as your own. Everything begins the moment you awaken to the truth. I am is the source, and the source is within. Let me take you deeper. Imagine standing in a vast cathedral with no walls, only silence. You breathe in once, gently, and I am. Not I am this, not I am that, just I am. In that moment, something ancient in you stirs, a presence, a stillness, a knowing. The room is not filled with emotion, it is filled with God. This is why Neville's students said that after hearing this teaching, they could never pray the same way again. Because to say, I am, consciously, is to enter the Holy of Holies. It is to stand at the center of creation and feel the truth. You are not separate. You never were. And when the illusion of separation dissolves, your manifestations no longer have to fight through layers of doubt, fear, or distance. They simply appear. Now that the ground beneath you has shifted, it's time for the revelation Neville tucked inside his final lectures, the one almost no one recognized until years later. The power of I am is not in adding more words to it. It is in learning to recognize the silence behind it. Neville said there is a moment when you stop trying to manifest and begin to remember. The moment when you stop using I am to reach and start using it to return. Let me show you what he meant. Find a quiet space. No phone, no music, no affirmations, no scenes, just presence. You sit, you breathe, you close your eyes, and you whisper gently, slowly, deliberately, I am. You do not try to feel anything. You do not try to visualize anything. You do not try to believe anything. You simply are. And in that moment, the entire world, your fears, your memories, your goals, your pains, your failures, all dissolve into one truth, being. Not being something, just being. Neville says this is the foundation of all creation. The state Jesus lived from, the state Moses entered, the state the mystics spoke of, the state you return to every time you close your eyes and remember. God is not something you reach. God is something you remember. But most people never sit long enough to meet themselves. They rush, they strive, they chase feelings. But the true creative state is not emotional. It is silent. It is the stillness you feel right after saying, I am, and before attaching anything to it. That silence is God. And once you touch that silence, once you feel it even for a second, your entire understanding of prayer changes. You stop asking, you stop begging, you stop waiting. Instead, you begin declaring from identity rather than desire. This is the essence of Neville's teaching. Claim yourself to be what you desire to be until your claim becomes fact. But you don't claim from wanting, you claim from being. This is the shift. Soon you'll understand why this moment changes everything. Now let me give you the structure. Step 1. Recognize the sacredness of I am. You stop speaking carelessly after those words. You stop letting fear borrow God's name. You stop attaching limitation to the Creator within you. Step 2. Enter the silence. You speak I am. You rest in being. You return to the source. Step 3. Attach only truth to the name. Not truth you see, truth you are. Not I am hoping to be healthy, but I am health. Not I want love, but I am love. Not I am waiting for abundance, but I am abundance. And you do this not because your senses confirm it, but because your identity commands it. Neville said, you are already that which you want to be. Your job is not to become it, your job is to remember it. Step 4. Walk the rest of the day as if God Himself spoke through you, because He did. Neville taught that after you speak the name I am with awareness, the creation is complete. Your only work now is to walk in loyalty to the unseen reality. He called it living from the end. You think from your new identity. You respond as your new identity. You carry yourself with quiet certainty, not pretending, not forcing positivity, not faking it, not checking for evidence. You simply are. Identity always comes before evidence, and evidence always follows identity. Something inside you is remembering now, and when you realize what this truly means, everything shifts. Before we continue, a gentle invitation. If you're ready to live this truth, not just hear it, join the 21-day challenge to create your dream life. The link is below. Return with me, because this next part is where most people fail, and where Neville became unmistakably clear. You cannot mix identities. You cannot say, I am wealthy, and then walk through the day as I am worried. You cannot say, I am loved, and then treat yourself as someone unchosen. You cannot say, I am healed, and then speak as someone still hoping for restoration. Your external world is not your master, it is your mirror. If the mirror shows something you no longer identify with, you don't try to fix the mirror, you fix the I am. This is why Neville said, loyalty to the unseen reality is faith. Identity first, circumstances second. And the moment you choose identity, the world begins to reorganize itself around you. Not because you forced it, not because you begged for it, not because you affirmed 1,000 times, because you became it. This is the revelation. This is the hinge on which destiny turns. This is the power of the 2 words God Himself placed in you. There's a reason you're still listening. Something in you is awakening. Everything up until now was preparation. This is the moment of ascent, the moment you stand inside your own divine origin. You began this journey thinking the power of I am was something you use. Now you know it is something you are. You began believing that manifestation was something you learn. Now you see it is something you remember. You began praying outward. Now you speak inward. Now you speak as the one who was never separate. And this changes everything. Let me give you the final key Neville left for those who were ready for the deeper truth. Do not speak, I am, to get. Speak, I am, to reveal. You are not summoning a blessing. You are uncovering one. You are not attracting abundance. You are recognizing its source. You are not creating healing. You are aligning with wholeness. When you say, I am healed, I am whole, I am free, I am chosen, I am abundant, I am guided. You are not waiting for these things to appear. You are announcing that they already exist in you, and the world is simply catching up. And now we reach the culmination, the return to the opening truth. Only repeat the 2 words God Himself put in you. Only speak what is worthy of His name. Only declare what you desire to become flesh. If the old identity tries to rise again, if fear whispers, if doubt stirs, if the past tries to pull you back, you return to the center. You close your eyes, you breathe, and you speak, I am. This is your anchor, your origin, your unshakable foundation. You can lose everything externally, but you can never lose I am, the eternal presence within you. It is the spark in your breath, the silence behind your thoughts, the awareness watching your life unfold. And now the final revelation. When you say I am, God is not being spoken to, God is being spoken as. This is the unity Neville gave his final years to reveal. Not a doctrine, not a theory, a memory. A remembering of what you were before you had a name, before you had a story, before the world told you who you were. You were and are I am. And now, as we rise into the final moments of this journey, you stand in the same place Moses stood when he heard the voice from the burning bush. You stand where Jesus stood when he said, "Before Abraham was, I am." You stand where Neville stood when he spent his final days telling the world, "God and I are one." And you now stand where your future self has been waiting, the version of you who already knows the truth, already lives the truth, already creates from the truth. And that truth is simple. You are not becoming, you are remembering. You are not calling things into existence. You are letting the unseen become seen. You are not looking for signs. You are becoming the sign. You are not hoping for miracles. You are speaking the word that creates them. You are not waking up to something new. You are awakening to what has always been. Now listen to these final lines. Walk the rest of your life as the one who has remembered. Speak with the authority of the words God placed in you. Move as someone who knows the end is already established. Hold yourself as someone whose reality bends to identity. Stand as someone who carries the divine name with reverence and power. I am. And let your world follow. And now, if this truth awakens something in you, declare it below, not as a hope, not as a someday, but as a fact. I am. Complete it, speak it, let it become flesh. Because the moment you write it, the moment you claim it, the transformation begins, and the dream continues inside you.